Happy International Zine Day! Today is day 16 and the prompt for today is character. For me, that meant having a conversation about emojis. How do you feel about emojis?
I never used to like them really, but I do now. I find they add a lot of context to a conversation that used to be hard to see. If you knew someone who'd never heard of them, how would you define them?
I think of them as almost a primitive language. They're of the digital age, but they hark back to when we used to still use images to communicate. They make messaging more human, tiny images that convey the emotions that simple text does not. What emojis do you associate with me?
The LGBTQ flag, the piece of broccoli, the unicorn, the mermaid, and any one of the cat faces.
Thanks.
Which ones do you see in me?
Definitely the little hearty eyes smiley face. I think the cow because moo. The aubergine, the little splashy water droplets, and the purple heart. But also like phrasing, I mean in you I see, I don't know, the aubergine, the banana, the little rocket, the flashlight, but maybe that's a totally different zine.
Well, if we're talking about that, it might be 5 different ones.
Moving on, what are your favourite emojis, or the ones that you use the most?
Kind of the standard ones to add context to a conversation.
You never seem to use emojis when you're talking to me, or do you just not generally bother using them?
I generally find that as I get to know someone better, I don't have to use them as much. Because you know me well enough to know what I mean, you guess my emotions better than I do sometimes. Same with my family. It tends to be people I don't know who get my emoji chat. What are your favourites?
Probably use the hearty eyes the most. Also the blue heart. And then the like little looking eyes one. And the like grumpy, sarcastic, pissed off face. That one's probably one of my most used. And like, yeah, any of the cat ones. They're all amazing. Do you know the history of emojis?
No real idea. I'm guessing it came from people using the other characters to make faces.
Yeah, you're right. The emoticons came first. Using pictograms to convey language and ideas in this way dates back to the 1960s, when Vladimir Nabokov said, "I often think there should exist a special typographical sign for a smile, some sort of concave mark, a supine round bracket." It wasn't until the 1980s when computer scientist Scott Fahlman invented the emoticon. There's a lot of debate about who actually invented the first true emoji, but it was in Japan where the craze for emojis really took hold in the 90s, and they've become such an intrinsic part of our culture and communication that we barely question their use now. I remember when it was all emoticons. Do you remember any of the cool or notable ones? I like the little cat ones, they were my favourite, as I'm sure you can guess. I imagine the tits ones were probably your favourite.
The tits ones were my favourite, aside from the obvious ones like the smiley face or the face with the tongue out.
Which one do you think is the most used emoji?
I'd say probably the general smiling face.
It's the laughy face, like the laughy crying face, that one.
Huh. Do you think they make people lazy in conversation though?
Maybe a little bit, I guess. I think they enhance language. I've always been a visual learner, so I find them a useful emotional addition, rather than viewing them from a height of pretension. But I'm an immature pseudo-intellectual who colours in for a living, so what would I know? I hope you enjoyed learning about emojis with me and Stuart. The Emoji Zine is now available in my shop, so do check out the link in my description below if you want your own copy. And hit that subscribe button if you want to see more zine related content from me. But that's all for now, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!